Coming up on this week's DizPod, we have a great interview. What is NC Disneyana? We'll deep dive into a character spotlight. That's what we'll say. And we have much, much more to talk about. What's going on today? It's the DizPod. Let's go. Hello and welcome everyone to episode 12.
Yes, 12.
It's amazed is we're getting there. I think our goal is 500. Lawrence said it. 500.
I heard yesterday that 90% of podcasts don't make it past episode 21. So we are on the way.
We have got that licked. We're going to lick that one. We're going to lick that one quick. I see Lily's Life's in chat. Hello, Lily's Life. Hello, everyone coming in. Welcome to the DizPod. It is a different night tonight. Normally, we are live at Magic Kingdom, pretty much is the way it's gone. But little change of plans. So, normally I'm really tolerant of the weather. If I've got a date that I'm going, I usually go like 99% of the time. We are there no matter the weather doesn't stop us. I've got my umbrella. I've got my webbed Crocs. We're good to go. But it seemed really certain that with a hurricane coming that the weather was going to be pretty certain it was going to be nasty. Now, the other thing on top of it was we had a park ticket for the special event, which was Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. And we've had a bad run of parties, which 2 in a row where we've dealt with weather and we have basically gotten a half a party. Now, Disney might argue that because I think we finally got one Sanderson Sisters last year and we did get the fireworks. We got no Headless Horseman. It's kind of like what's meaningful to you, right? That was very meaningful to me to see the Headless Horseman. It's so cool. I want to see that in person. And to this day, I have not seen it yet. And I felt like last night would have run another risk of not seeing him. He did ride, but, I thought the odds were definitely against me for that. And I did check in on some live streams last night. And lo and behold, the rain didn't even mess with the streams last night. But, it's okay. I still think we made the right choice for other reasons.
Right.
You know what those are, and we'll move ahead. So September 19th is our rescheduled party. So we will go and we'll try to do that with some good weather, hopefully. And, we have a good audience for that because last year's stream of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is our highest viewed stream in the history of our five-year history of our channel, which was over 17K. So we definitely have to try to take advantage of it. It's a great marketing opportunity for the channel to gain more subscribers. It's very good for the channel. So you really want to do as many of those as you can.
And you want it to be as smooth as possible, so any bit of rain just adds, trying to hold the umbrella and making sure the gimbrellas on and all the stuff going on. And are you going to get the Headless Horseman? Are you going to get the full parade? Are you going to get character interactions? There's just so many things that if it was a clear night, much better off.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just hoping for a night with no question marks. Whether we go to this party or parties in the future, it would just be great to not deal with weather. It's Florida. I mean, we went to a Christmas party 2 years ago. I think that party was. It was a downpour. It was nuts.
Wow.
It's Florida, so it can still rain, but it feels weird saying we're at a Christmas party and we got rained out. So, just so Disney knows, I mean, we like to teach on this podcast. So we did have a problem last year. We did go to guest services. We were trying to get another party because here was the argument. So Disney says this. We tell guest services, hey, we'd like to see if we could get another party. Well, why do you think that you're entitled to that. And we said, well, we only got one Sanderson Sisters show. We did get the fireworks. We got a parade, but we didn't get the Headless Horseman. Mm-hmm. And they were like, yeah, but there was still you still had the parade, the fireworks, and a show. That's why we do multiple shows in case you miss some. And I guess it's black and white. They're not wrong. Definitely not wrong. But in my mind was this. I was telling them, but it still affected my night because I went to the first Sanderson Sisters show. It rained out 5 minutes into it. And it took me away from doing something else that I like a snack I really wanted to try. It sold out at that point, or I was having to go in other directions and kind of miss other things and not getting the full, enjoyment experience. So ultimately, they didn't help us out there, but encouraged us to talk with guest services by phone. And then they were able to take care of us.
Oh.
So,
well, that's good.
Yeah. So ultimately they were. So hats off to Disney for that. But we felt like the person next to us had the same kind of argument, although they had problems with their iPad, so they didn't get into the party right away. Mm-hmm. So that cast member was giving them anything they wanted, another Halloween party, or do you want the Christmas party? And I'm like, wait, we're arguing kind of about the same thing. You're giving them what they want and we're getting nothing here.
Yeah.
But Tammy kind of thinks that, they see everything you have on record, and we got a free Christmas party prior to, because it downpoured and we legitimately didn't get everything. I think they look at that and they're like, well, we gave them something last time. These people might just be trying to look for something, and we're not like that. But, I guess it's to stop people trying to take advantage. Hello, everyone in chat. I can't say hi to everybody, but I'll just scan through. Miriam and NC Disneyana is here. She says, so excited to watch this one about our 3rd annual NC Disneyana event. Do reach out if any of you have any questions. That's awesome. It's so good to see you here. We're about to play that interview in just a moment. It's a great interview. Hang out for this interview, everyone. You're going to learn what NC Disneyana is. And Elizabeth, right?
Yes.
Elizabeth was a great guest. We had questions prepared. She talked about so in detail about so much of it. We just listened.
Yeah.
But I think I followed up with some couple of questions per the interview that she expands on that you'll find really interesting. So I don't know. Did we talk about everything for the intro? I guess we can say for our schedule, the reason why we're doing this tonight is to kind of piggyback off the hurricane. So I was looking at hurricane type of weather last night. I knew it wasn't coming in yet, but rain was looking heavy in the forecast.
Yeah.
And I did hold out because, yesterday morning, I was like, no, I think we're good to go. No, the night before, we're good to go. It literally says 0% chance of rain. This is weird. But yesterday morning when I checked it, it was totally different. 70% chance of rain for most of the night. So that's why I didn't want to risk that. Tonight was basically the hurricane could have taken all day and night to come through. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, we woke up this morning and I wouldn't even have known it was a hurricane if they didn't say so.
Right.
It was really just mild gusts of wind here and there, and it really didn't rain much. And my job takes me on certain days through country roads, and I was up and down country roads all day today, and I didn't even see a single tree down anywhere.
Well, that's good.
Knock on wood. I mean, hopefully everyone fares through it further up north, but anywhere from like Disney down, I think we're all pretty good. So I didn't want to wrestle with the fact leading up to today all day. Am I going? Should I go? Am I going? Should I go? So finally one time I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to make the decision, and it doesn't leave you hanging either. Like, let's just do the Diz Pod here, and maybe we'll get a new audience tomorrow night.
That's true.
Besides the audience that we already have, the wonderful audience. So, yeah. All right. Well, hey, without further ado, let's get this interview going. When we come back, we'll do our character spotlight with the Headless Horseman, which would have been great to piggyback off of after last night. And who knows? Maybe we'll do the Headless Horseman again. No, we probably won't, because we have other characters. But yeah, when we come out of that, we'll do that. We'll talk about Inside the Parks a little bit from this past week.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there. So, you know what? My interview went away. Let me bring it back again. And I should be able to get that back in a quick second. And we are ready to go. Enjoy this, everyone.
All right, folks. So we have a really special guest with us here from NC Disneyana. It is Elizabeth Holleran, and I will let her kind of go into what she does and what you're seeing behind her on the wall there. Elizabeth, thanks for joining us tonight.
Hi, it was a pleasure to be here. So I have a pin passion, as you can see behind me. Pins were something that I recently came into, well, not too recently, about 10 years ago. I was at the Disney parks, and I discovered there was this, or about to go to the Disney parks, I discovered this thing called pin trading. Mm-hmm. And I purchased a bunch of pins that I was going to trade with my daughter, who was 5. And then I lost the pins, and when I was getting ready to go to Disney World, and I was like, oh, I won't be able to do it this time. So I thought they were lost. And years later, we went back again when she was 5 then. We went back again when she was 13. And we discovered pin trading. And it was this wonderful thing where you get to go to a Disney park, and they have pin boards, or cast members would have pins, and you can trade from a booster set that would have just random pins that you may want 1 or 2 of, and you could find ones that you really liked. I know it may sound like a little strange little hobby, but it grows on you, because you start formulating like certain sections, like this section over here is Snow White pins. And then you start wanting to sort of get that, and then you also you could have ride pins, or some people collect holiday pins, like Nightmare Before Christmas is very popular to collect. Right. But the bottom line thing is, I started trading with my daughter, and I came home from Disney, and I only got to go to Disney ever so often, and I wanted to keep that magic feeling alive. So I decided to see if the Disney store near me, which was still open at the time, would do pin trading. When I went there, they said there were lineups for pins monthly, these Disney Wisdom series. So I started lining up for the Disney Wisdom series, and I would bring my pins with me, and week after week, I tried Meetup, and I tried some other networking things, and I was almost about to give up when I found Facebook. And I somebody saw me in line when I was just about to leave. And they're like, I've seen you here like 2 or 3 times, and you have pins and I have pins. Let's trade. Started trading. And a few months later after that, we decided to try, after we had grown from being outside the Disney store to in the food court to in a library, we decided to try doing a bigger event. And we did a big, a 4-hour pin trade event that we had about 50 people show up to. That was sort of the precursor to NC Disneyania. So wow. I haven't given a pause for you to ask any questions. I'm sorry.
You've been great.
That's great.
But basically, I did eventually find just before I started the Disneyania, which is more than pins, it's cosplays and stuff. Because people would come up to me at the pin trading groups when we were meeting in the food court and say, I'd love to watch Disney movies. I'd like other fandoms, but I'm not into just pins. And I wanted to bring it bigger. And part of what the passion is, it's not just the collecting thing, but it's sort of nice to like finish a set. Like, I'm trying to see if I have a set of pins. Like, like a castle set or something. This one happens to be fake pins. That's the other thing. Is there a bunch of fake pins out there? I couldn't afford to get the real one, and so I got these are not real pins. So they're for myself, so I keep them. But that's another whole other topic is scrapper pins. That because when I first traded, that's the very first thing that I traded. I went and spent like $10, $15 a pin, and traded for these pins that people got from eBay for less than $1, and they were all fake pins.
Oh wow!
And then when you go to try to trade them, it's sad because other traders don't really like them because they're not the authentic ones, and you've lost the value. But you still, that's another topic for another day. Sorry. Go ahead and ask me questions. I'm just going to ramble.
I think that's a fine topic for right now, at least for unless it's a topic that you think can take 30 minutes. But about the fake pins, what's that? Go ahead.
It could actually take a lifetime to learn how to tell the difference.
That's what I was going to ask you. How can one tell? Because I wouldn't be able to tell, and I've looked at millions of Disney pins in Disney.
Well, this is my sad board. I think, can you see it? It's my scrapper board. So these are off color. They're dipped. Paint dips are when the paint doesn't come all the way to the surface. So see, this one doesn't have any paint on it at all. I don't know if I'm pointing to the right one. Mm-hmm. But it sort of looks like they were painted lightly instead of, this is more, a real Disney pin is flush, generally. I mean, this is not a hard rule. So this one's really paint dipped. If I can bring it close to the camera here. And I should really do a panel at my event on scrapper pins.
Yeah.
See how paint dipped that is? Can you sort of see it in the light?
So does paint dipped mean how can I say it? It's not smooth. It has dips to it. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
You have the framing of the thing of it, and it doesn't fill in completely.
It doesn't fill in. It's not flush. So there are some pins that will be sold. In fact, they occasionally Disney sells them themselves that are paint dipped, but that's the way they're supposed to be. So you'd have to go to a place like Pin Picks to see. It's an online database that has pins that you can see what the original pin was supposed to look like. And you'll notice things that look just a little off. And sometimes they'll get the original mold. So they'll have stolen the original mold and remake it, but they don't make it quite the same. I know there's a tell on, certain pins have a tells that would tell you that it's fake. See the villainous pins? On the back of the villainous pins, there's supposed to only be a certain number of Mickey heads. So this is this is the finer detail. So this one has, can you see the Mickey heads?
We can see them. Yeah, I've seen those in person.
I think they're supposed to only be 7. Let me check this is real. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so if it has 12, it's a fake. So some of the nicer pins could look nice. In fact, sometimes they'll look nicer than the real pins did because they improved upon it. And then there's another category of pins that are called fantasy pins, which are basically fan-made pins. And they're controversial because you're getting into copyright because you're basically doing that. But there are people that will collect fantasy pins, and we will allow fantasy pins at the event, that as long as you declare them as fantasy pins and not real authentic Disney pins. You obviously can't trade those in the park, but those can be worth hundreds of dollars too, because if you really like the artist, and they may be mashups or something, do something with Stitch and Cinderella or something, or maybe a really large pin or something unusual that nobody has done before at Disney. But With the fake pins, if you bought them somewhere outside of Disney, you didn't buy them at Lunchfly, you didn't buy them at Hot Topic, you didn't buy them at the Disney store, and then you may have a fake pin, especially if you trade it in the parks. In the parks, it's probably like 80% to 90% fake, depending on if you get there when it's fresh. The very first thing you do is pin trade and not go on the rides. You may get the fresh board, you may get something new, and you can look for ones that look unusual. The fake pins tend to always, usually on the boards, they tend to be the common ones. If you see 100 of the same pin, they're probably the fake pins. So, and usually pin on pin is better. So if you see something pin on pin is something like, let's see if I can see what I'm pointing at. Here's my hand.
Okay.
This one. So there's a pin. This one actually moves, but it's pin on pin. But the more intricate ones are probably not faked. If there's a lot of money involved, like the ones that there's, I didn't go into the types of pins. There's open edition, which there's no limit on. They just make them. Open edition are generally the least valuable pins, but you could have an older open edition because pin trading's been around for about over 20 years. Officially. Well, Disney pin trading. Olympic pin trading has been around longer than that. And I have some combination pins. So here's an Olympic Disney pin. But that's been around for like 100 years or something. But the official start of it, this is the 20th anniversary, I think was about, maybe is it, what's the date on this? I think it's 99.
And did it start? So it started in the parks, and then
in the parks
started
officially.
doing it in the stores.
They never did it in the stores. We just did it. We made it happen in the stores.
Oh, okay.
So basically, they never did it in the off. They did it. They would do it. I think does Disney Springs do it? I don't think they do.
There's a pin trading store. I think you can do some pin trading there, where they have the magic bands and everything.
So you can but usually the outlet stores and the Disney stores that were off property, they never did the pin trading, as far as I know. I mean, maybe there might be, some other. There are other groups around. I think that was one of your questions in your sample thing. I found out later after I started about the Disneyania fan club, which used to be the National Fantasy Fan Club. It's the oldest fan-based Disney club. It started in the 80s. I think maybe was it 84? I had that written down somewhere, but it is basically they predated D23, and they're based in California. They had lots and lots of clubs all over the country, and I think there was some like even in Japan and stuff. But they've sort of shrunk back down to their home base. They sort of shrunk down to California a little bit. I think COVID also hit them really hard. But we did form as a chapter of them, and they seem to be getting stronger again. They're starting to have events that they seem to be getting successful. The other one we model off of is Dayton Disneyania, which was a branch of them that broke away, that became their own thing. And Dayton Disneyania has been around for like 20 years, I think it is. And they have hundreds of people that show up in Dayton, Ohio to do something similar. And so
yours started when? When was your first show?
We sort of had that practice one with the 50 people, but the real show, when we really called it NC Disneyania, was 2021. And we had about 300 people there. And at the time, our Facebook group was interesting because the Facebook group had I made a Facebook group for the Triangle NC Pin Traders, which was the pin trading group, and that's at around 400 people still right now. Today, the NC Disneyania Facebook group is over 1,400 people.
Wow.
And the nice thing about it is it's a niche group because basically it's just North Carolina fans. But there are some fans that come from other places. I did do like an analysis of the first year of the first 300, and about a third came from outside of North Carolina, a third came from the Triangle region, and a third came from other parts of North Carolina.
Wow.
So,
what are some of the more interesting stuff that people buy, sell, or trade there?
Well, it's everything. People like to trade those McDonald's toys. Like I have those 50th anniversary McDonald's toys. There's I do have an old. Speaking of the Barbie, well, not speaking of, but the Barbie movie. There was a Snow White Disney toy that I have buried back here. So, and speaking of Snow White, I also have a Snow White 1950s comic book. Let me see if I can get to it without disturbing my dog, Mimi.
Hello, Mimi.
See it.
Wow.
Here's Mimi. She's not a chinchilla dog.
Good dog. Good dog.
She's a corgi. She's a sweetheart. But yeah, I mean they trade anything at Disney.
And the show is coming up when?
Labor Day weekend. It's the first time it's 2 days, so it's Saturday and Sunday. It's at the Durham Armory on 2212 Foster Street. Am I saying that? Durham, North Carolina 27701 is the zip code. And it is going to be, well, the early bird tickets already sold out. Those are the tickets that get you a gift bag, and you get into the event an hour early. And I have the gift bags all ready. So if they want to get gift bags next year, just pay attention to when they come out because they have lots of goodies in them.
All right.
Wow.
So then the event for the regular tickets, it's for 2 days. It's $20. So it's from 11 to 6 p.m. on Saturday and 11 to 4 p.m. on Sunday. There will be a cosplay contest. There will be Disney trivia. There's also the vendors. I am trying to get I know you probably heard about Disney Lurcana or Lurcana, however you say it, the trading card game. I'm hoping in the future event that we can actually have players playing Disney Lurcana. But I do know we have some vendors. At least 2 vendors have some cards. At least a decent amount of commons and uncommons. Those are the ones that I don't know if you know, like the D23 promos are like some insane amount. Like the 7 of them I saw someone was trying to get for 24,000. It's going through the roof on the value of especially when it's hard to get now.
Yeah.
But I mean, not talking about the value, but the nice thing is that hopefully by that point, September 1st will have come around, and that's when the official release is, which is a day before my event. So hopefully some of the excitement about that game may help to get people to realize that this event is out as well.
Right.
And you can get stuff. And a lot of people that are doing those games, those Arcana games, if you wear Disney gear, you get points in the leagues. So you can go to NC Disneyania and get the gear there to wear, get the ears and the shirts and whatnot.
Very
Nice. So is there merch to get then? Is there merchandise specific for Disneyania? Like, can you get some Disneyania t-shirts and things like that, stickers, whatever?
I actually made Disneyania pins, and the other thing is we have an event charity, and I worked with the Piedmont Wildlife Center to make a pin for them. So let's see if I can figure out where this is. So this is the Disneyania pin, NC Disneyania, and this is the Piedmont Wildlife Center. And the reason I went with the Piedmont Wildlife Center is because Feed the Birds was Walt Disney's favorite song. It's all about altruism. It's the one in Mary Poppins where she's basically a homeless lady selling bird seed to feed herself, and it's the humanity of the woman and nature and all of that sort of rolled into one. And I just thought the Piedmont Wildlife Center is basically they do outreach and teach about the environment, and they do camps for kids, and they help rehabilitate birds, especially like owls and raptors and other wildlife. So I just thought it was a nice tie-in.
Yeah.
So the merch we have is basically we have the Disneyania pins, or into Disneyania pins, and and then they'll have their table of Piedmont Wildlife Center will have their animals. They're going to bring them from 2 to 4, and then they'll also have their pins that we purchased for them to sell. I think they're selling them at $15 a piece. And I was going to sell, I put those pins, the Disneyania pins, I put them in the gift bags. And I was going to sell them, but now I have to find them. So if I don't find them if I don't find them before the event, they may go on sale after the event, but they don't have a date on them, so they won't go bad.
Right. Right. Well, yeah, I will be there for sure on Saturday, checking that out, and I'll bring some video back for our viewers to see for sure. Kind of some of the pins, some of the collectibles that'll be there, and hopefully some of the cosplay too. Not that I'll be in the cosplay, but
Yeah,
What kind of numbers do you
yeah,
expect?
it's hard to know. I have, like at least a couple hundred already sold. I haven't looked at it today, but we tend to get most of our sales about the day or so before and at the door. And we did move venues, so I'm not sure. There's a lot of people that say they're intending to go that are keep asking, "Can I buy a ticket at the door? Can I buy a ticket at the door?" So I'm hoping that I don't overwhelm the ticket takers. The venue can hold 600 people, so that's the other thing is I don't want to sell more than 600 tickets. So I would advise people to go ahead and get them so you don't have to wait. And I do have one-day tickets. I have Saturday tickets and Sunday tickets, but I think I gave 100 early birds, and then I gave about 200 two-day tickets set aside, and then I was going to sell the single-day tickets depending on how full the room is, because I really don't want to be crammed in there. Because when we had the event at the hotel last year, we were taxing that AC. If you saw the video from the news coverage, it was sort of a mob of people.
Yeah.
I think it was ABC 11. They came and did there was about a 30-second brief video on it that I think I sent to you.
Yeah, we get to take a look at that. Thanks for that. It's an event that seems to keep growing. So I would only expect whatever you had for numbers last year, that this is just going to grow more and more each year. And you deserve it. You've put a lot of work into this.
Yep.
Well, it's not just me, it's a team, and it definitely wouldn't work if it was just me, because I'm good at ideas. I need somebody else with the details. And so like I have somebody else that's taking notes and somebody else that's helping me lift the heavy stuff. And it's sort of like a family of helpers. And it's also, that's the other thing that really, I keep coming back to the people, is the thing I like about this hobby or similar hobbies or fandoms. Well, no, I think this one's unique. I think this one tends to get people from both sides of the political spectrum, because you'll have people that are way left leaning that will like some stories, and you'll have some of the hardcore right wing people that still love Mickey Mouse, and you can find them together talking and reminiscing about something that they both like. And it just seems rare with other hobbies or other niches. They tend to be a little bit more one-sided or the other. You may find, more of the military fans may be more conservative, whereas more art house movies may be more liberal or something. I'm just putting out examples. But I sort of like the idea that there can be a little bit of a breather space that we could bring people back together again to talk and enjoy something and have a little bit of reprieve from the real world and from the fights over the Thanksgiving table.
Sure. I mean, I'm in the Disney parks 2 to 3 times a week, and when you go there, you just forget about your regular life or any problems you have, and it's complete magic there. And it just seems like you're doing such a great thing to be able to bring some magic to North Carolina and have, just for a few hours, have, people go there and just escape and enjoy each other and find that commonality in those interests. That's amazing. You're doing an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. And like I said, I think the thing with it, I'm trying to make it affordable to have that similar experience, especially from, well, I don't get to go. There's people out there like you that get to go like 3 times a year or something. For me, it's a long time. It's a drought between times to go. So it's something like this, you get to feel it for a little bit, and you don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars. Well, you might,
sure.
Come to the vendor room and spend thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah. It just reminds me of, I've been living in Florida for 7 years now, but prior to that, when we were raising our kids when they were much, much younger, we lived way up north in Maine, and it was a big event to just go to the Disney store at the mall to just feel like we could get a little bit of magic, a little bit of Disney. So I can see that. Yeah. So.
And if folks want to find more information about the show or your group, where can they find that information?
Well, I'm old school. I'm really big on Facebook. We do have a website. It's ncdisneyania.com. So it's just the NC from North Carolina and ANA at the end of Disney. And then we have the Facebook group is NC Disneyania. It's just search NC Disneyania on Facebook. You'll find the page and the group. But the group I think is more lively than the page. It's basically people sharing things and asking questions, and right now it's filled with vendors putting stuff out to say, should I bring this? I don't have enough room. And someone's like, oh, you have to bring that because I have to have that or something. And people asking questions like, is this pin real or not?
Yeah.
Or do you want to go see? I'm hoping that eventually it will get movies going. I haven't done that yet. I'd love to try to make events for movie going, like to go see the new Little Mermaid movie and some of the other ones that are coming out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the latest Disney thing I'm into is Disney Speedstorm, the racing game that's like Mario Kart. Ooh, that's hard to put down. So that's another thing. They've done a great thing with that, and that will continue to grow. Maybe that's part of something you could introduce there too at some point. Some video game racing tournaments, maybe. Who knows?
But yeah, I do have board games. But I didn't this year. I didn't bring them out. I brought them out the other year, but the pin trading took over, and we didn't have enough space for it. It seems to like every available space gets some activity happens. But if we have Lorcania tables or a game, I could spill the beans on what's coming next year, if you're at all interested.
Sure, give us an exclusive.
All right. Okay, I wasn't going to announce this until after, but so I'm not sure if maybe people might not see this until it's already the time. But if they can see it ahead of time, it's okay. I have an even better space. It is about 45 minutes away from me in Greensboro, but it's a lovely venue that has about 40,000 square feet of space, and we're going to take the biggest ballroom there. There's 6 ballrooms, and it's nearly 12,000 square feet. But it has 4 acres of free parking, and I think it's 11.5 to be more correct square feet of space, and I just think it's a great room for growth. I'm planning on starting it in the big room and still doing the trading and everything in one room, and it has a stage in the middle. But I envision eventually expanding and being able to have more panels with guests and have the trade room in a separate room and other things. And also, I'm thinking of booths because we've done tables for vendors, but like have actual booths for people to like go Disney clothes shopping. There's this thing called Disney bonding. I know you should know about Disney bonding and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
But it's basically
Yes.
because adults over 13 can't dress in cosplay at the parks because of safety concerns.
Yeah.
But you can, but at my place, you can come and cosplay all you like, all the Disney characters that you want to do.
Yay, fun.
But
Sounds great.
so that's going to be 2024. And we're also moving it from Labor Day weekend because partially we were competing against Dragon Con a little bit. And so it's going to be around August 17th and 18th in 2024. So that's an exclusive. You are breaking this story. So
Thank you for trusting us with that. That's awesome. I'm so excited for you because that's growth. That's growth. You know, it's going to allow you to grow, and I know this is just going to continue to grow every year. It just has to, and it is. So that's awesome.
Good. Congratulations on all that. That's amazing.
I have to say this about pins. Like, I have pins, but when I buy a pin, I love a pin. I fall in love with the pin. I have to love the pin to buy it. So then it becomes hard for me to trade it. So I just end up keeping them. I've had kids in line ask me, "Oh, so you get 2? That's how you do it."
Get 2 of the pin. Get the 2 of the things that you like, and then you trade one of them for something you like better.
Aha.
Or you buy mystery bags, and then you get 20 of the ones that you don't like, and you beg somebody to give you one that you do like for the 20 of the exact same thing that you get. But
that was my next follow-up. So when we were living up north and we came to Disney for vacation, and the kids and I were doing some pin trading, I don't know how I learned this, but I just went on eBay and I bought a bag of pins, and I'm like, let's pull out the ones we love and the ones we don't. Let's trade them for better ones because the cast members can't say no. You know, they've got to give you the good stuff. So Is that good etiquette or not so much?
Oh, it's different with trading with people versus trading with cast members. People can say no. However, kids have special privileges. Generally, a lot of people will have a special board just for kids that they can say, take any pin that you want and give me another one of your pins. I encourage them to do that. But it's, for me personally, there's others that are like me, I enjoy seeing people find something that they find magical. And I like to see people complete their sets. So my traders, generally, I usually make a trade work. If somebody really wants a pin, and even if it's a limited edition or something, if they'll give me multiple pins for the limited edition or something somewhat close, I'll make the trade work.
Nice.
I know there are pin sharks out there. There are people out there that will try to trade something up for something else. In our smaller groups, I don't see that as much. It's going to, it's like anything else in the world. There are good people, there are bad people, and there are in between people. In trading, there's similar kinds of things. For the most part, there's Disney magic there, but I think if you do your research, just make sure you know what you have, look for the paint dips. If you have that off feeling about something, you can always say no. And that's what I would say if you're a new trader. And the other thing is, even when I was trading and I was trading for scrappers, I realize now I enjoyed the fact I was enjoying what I was doing. So even though the value wasn't there, I was losing value. I was getting value in the memories of the trades. So at the end of the day, if you traded for something that wasn't the same value as something else, but you value the pin anyways, then what does it really matter? You can still put it on your wall.
Right.
Every time I come up with a good question, you answer it. There you go. I was going to ask you that. You know, are there times where you've just given up an uneven trade because you just love the pin that they're offering and you don't mind giving a little bit more to get what's going to make you happy?
I'm actually known for that. People tell me I do that too much. That I like, oh, here's a $2 pin and here's a $20 pin and I want the $2 pin. Here you go. And especially if it moves, if it does something like the rock and roll pin or the bowling pin.
Yes, I'm a sucker for pins that move. When I did collect some, if it moved, I fell in love with it. Do you have the seven dwarfs mine train where it rocks side to side? That's one that stands out to me that moves that I have.
Okay, now I have a new pin that I must do. I have like a chain of them, but this is like one of my coolest moving pins. Let's see if I can get it to be in focus. It's a coffin.
Oh.
And
is it Haunted Mansion?
It's Haunted Mansion. Let's see if I can get it so you can see it. All right. I keep going in the wrong direction. I'm going to take it down. Come on. Don't take the board with me.
So,
Let's see.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Can you see it at all?
Right there. Yes, right there. That looks good. Look at that. So does he pop up? Does he pop up out of the coffin when you open the door, the coffin top down?
He pops. Yeah, you can put the coffin top down. Can't do it one-handed though.
Sure. That's awesome. Yeah, I love the ones that move. So I love pins. I did stop collecting them. See, I'm the type that when I collect something, I just keep going and then I stop and do something else. And our channel's 5 years old. People have seen me. Yeah, people have seen me go crazy with magic bands. I have over 100 mugs. I have a lot of mugs. I'm known for mugs. And I just keep moving on to other things. And I was looking at pins a few months ago. And I was like, I know if I start buying one pin, it's just going to just go and go and go and go. Yeah, so this may have energized me to start looking again, but at least they're small enough that my wife doesn't mind. When you get the mugs and you start taking over the entire kitchen and the dishwasher and all that, then it gets a little crazy.
Yeah, I wanted to get a 3D printer for another hobby, and my husband said, no, it's a thing that prints things that are more things to have in the house to collect. I'm like, no.
That's awesome.
I totally get that, but I could print my own pins, too. I thought about that with the little plastic ones. But anyway, do come to NC Disneyania and you can find your next passion. If it isn't pins, there's other things. There's Funko Pops, there's prints, or just watch the people. There's people watching just to see all the cosplayers.
There you go.
Or there's a Funko Pop right there. Awesome.
I've got some great ones sitting right beside me on my desk right here. They watch me do all my fine work right here. So you've been amazing. Yeah. Man.
Are you sure? I still feel like I've been rambling.
No, I've loved it. I've loved it. I feel like you've said so much. You've let our listeners who are going to listen to this learn a lot about pins themselves and your event and how it's growing and how great it is.
Well, thank you. And the other thing is, I do want to mention that if you can't make the big event.
We lost her. Let's see if we can get her back in. So, she's great. She said a lot. You know.
We didn't even have to ask questions.
No, we didn't have to ask questions. Just throw those questions away, because she was that good. We'll give her a moment or two to try to come back in. But yeah, so you're going to the event.
Yeah, I'll be at the event. I'll bring my gimbal and I'll do a little bit of recording there and take some pictures, see what interesting stuff we can find. Not only the pins, but like she said, there's going to be prints and all sorts of stuff there. So that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, that should be great. Yeah, it'd be fun to just browse and look at all the pins, you know. Last time I got to do something like that at like an event was at Give Kids the World when we did the Tony Baxter event.
Oh, okay.
That was really interesting. A lot of really cool pins in those cases with some exclusives. Tons I've never seen before. So, yeah. Well,
that's right.
We may
there
not.
Was a merch section there.
Yeah. Well, we may not get her back. So maybe. What do you think? Think we should wrap this piece up, and I guess you could contact her again.
Yeah, and
she was.
If she's at the event on Saturday, I'll do a quick little catch up with her there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So there you go, everyone. Elizabeth Halloran for Disneyana.
Very nice.
Or I like Disneyania, or like Disney Mania, because she said they either say Disneyania or Disneyana, right?
Yeah. Disneyania, I like that.
Yeah, look forward to you bringing back some more information and some video from this thing. Yeah,
coming up next week.
There we go. So that was our first time playing a pre-recorded video. So occasionally, I think we had a little bit of lag there, but beyond our control. Otherwise, really great interview. We were really lucky to have Elizabeth with us and share some information, and it looks like the chat enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, it definitely looks that way, and she's been in the chat during the interview, which has been great to get her perspective even further. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the event on Saturday to see, and we even got some exclusive news. Moving the event to Greensboro next year, which those of you that don't know, Greensboro is more centrally located in the state. So that will be great for her and the event, as you know, you may pick up people from further away than she had at the Durham event. So yeah, good for her. That's quite a feat to see that continue to grow from just trading in front of a Disney store all the way to now being in such a huge space.
I love that. I just love it. You know, her passion has brought it to this. I just see this going to infinity for her as long as she wants it to go. I mean, she just got a bigger venue. That's gonna build up too.
Yes.
You know, every event is going to be bigger and bigger for her. So that's awesome.
This is my pin collection. So we started collecting pins when we went to resorts. We wanted to collect a resort pin every time we went. But we found out that there are some resorts that don't have pins. Catherine can put in the chat which one it was. Might be Pop, maybe one of them. They said no, we don't have a resort pin. I'm like,
you
should have a pin.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
that is interesting. I want to know which one doesn't. And next time I'm there, I'm going to look and see.
Yeah,
Pop used to have one at least because I have a Pop pin from when we stayed at Pop years ago. So maybe it's not even Pop, but if it is, that becomes a little more valuable, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, right, for sure.
Jill said a collection of one is not a collection.
I guess it takes more than one to be a collection. Very nice. Let's hit the character spotlight. The character spotlight this week is the Headless Horseman. It would have been really great if this would have come off the party last night, but it doesn't matter. There was question last night if the Headless Horseman would ride because of the rain, but apparently it was fine. It wasn't fine when we went last year, but but it was fine this time. Maybe the ground had dried up a little bit more than I imagine. It was wetter on the street than it was last night in comparison. Right. So, yeah, he did ride Jennifer. I want Jennifer to make that ride someday. She would love it. She would love that. Jennifer, I want that for you. So let's talk about the Headless Horseman. So let's bring up a photo of him, and we'll learn just a little bit about the Headless Horseman. There he is with no head, holding that lit up jack-o'-lantern. So the Headless Horseman is a mythical figure who has appeared in folklore around the world since the Middle Ages. The figure is traditionally depicted as a rider upon horseback who is missing his head. Depending on the legend, the horseman is either carrying his head or it is missing altogether, but he is searching for it, if he's not carrying it. And so in American folklore, the Headless Horseman is a fictional character from the 1820 short story, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, by American author Washington Irving. The story from Irving's collection of short stories is titled The Sketchbook of Geoffrey Crayon, Gent. Has worked itself into American folklore, legend through literature and film, including the 1999 Tim Burton film Sleepy Hollow. The legend of the Headless Horseman, also known as the Headless Hessian of the Hollow, begins in Sleepy Hollow, New York, during the American Revolutionary War. Traditional folklore holds that the horseman was a Hessian trooper who was killed during the Battle of White Plains on the 28th of October, 1776. He was decapitated by an American cannonball, and the shattered remains of his head were left on the battlefield while his comrades hastily carried his body away. Eventually, they buried him in the cemetery of the old Dutch church of Sleepy Hollow, from which he rises as a malevolent ghost, furiously seeking his lost head and wielding a jack-o'-lantern as a temporary replacement or a weapon. So if we continue here, Disney's, how Disney got involved, or here's where Disney is involved now. The Headless Horseman is a popular character that appears in the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party at Disney World. The only time you'll see the Headless Horseman is Disney World is right before the Boo to You parade during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Because the horseman is riding an actual horse, he likely won't ride if there's bad weather, just like we talked about, and in the area, if there's bad weather in the area, or even if the ground is wet from earlier rain. The Headless Horseman rides along the full parade route, starting 15 to 20 minutes before the official start of Mickey's Boo to You parade. He rides down Main Street, USA, holding a glowing pumpkin, making up one of the most memorable sights guests can take while attending Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. And there he is. And just like watching it last night, I have to say, it is complete silence when the Headless Horseman comes down the street.
Yep.
People are just in awe to see that. It's quite the sight. I haven't seen it in person yet. I hope to see it not once, but twice before this year is out. Have you ever seen him live?
I did. Our party last year was October 4th or so. And he did ride. We actually watched the parade from across the way from Sleepy Hollow, the quick serve, which was a nice spot there with Liberty Square right there. So yeah, he rode and it was pure silence when he came through. It was amazing.
That adds to the atmosphere, the eeriness of it, right?
Yes. I actually made a short on my channel. I made a short of him riding. It was just, I get chills just watching it now.
Yeah, it's cool. All right, let's do what happened in the parks this week. So, what happened in the parks this week is pretty much, I can't really think of anything eventful that happened in Disney parks this past week. I think I was just at Magic Kingdom last Wednesdays, and just a typical night. Got to go on Pirates again, which is really good. And yeah, I can't think of much.
Did you get soaked? Did you get wet on Pirates?
No. Lately, being in the back by myself, I'm on a little streak there. I haven't been wet, so that's always good.
Nice.
Yeah. So finally getting back into the rhythm of getting on Pirates again. The Princesses came out again, so it's kind of hit or miss. When they did come out the week before, I don't really remember if there was any kind of weather involved. Could have been, but I don't recall that at all. I don't think there was, but no, they were out this time, and it was great to see them. Not as interactive and plentiful, like there were less princesses out, but needless to say, that's always really cool, and I always try to catch a little bit of that along with Happily Ever After. So good night there. What we can really talk about is Universal this time. We got to stay on Universal property for the first time ever, and we were excited about that because we had never done it. So we stayed at Endless Summer Dockside Inn and Suites, and we have a vlog coming out for that anytime. I can release it anytime. I have 2 little finishing touches to put on it, and I have to upload it. So watch for that. I probably won't do it as a premiere. We will probably just upload it. I might upload it right after this. So maybe in the next hour, you can all look for it. Why don't you all look for it? We'll release it. It's a room tour, and it's also a little property tour that we did. And thankfully, we did it at like 12:30 at night because they have a huge grab-and-go quick service area there. And trust me, the next morning, it was super packed. Super packed. So I got some great B-roll. I am really proud of this vlog that we did. It's just super professional. I'm really happy with the camera work and everything. So you all will enjoy it. Once again, had Kathy do the room tour. She loves it. She does it in one take. And I love that. So I just get to do my camera work and she does it. It was actually a suite. So there was a full bedroom and only one shared bathroom though for all of us.
Okay.
And 2 beds. So basically, like if you go into a typical hotel room, you've got your 2 beds and a TV on the wall, and then that's all you would have in a bathroom. But with the suite, you add a table, like a kitchen table, but it was more like a park bench, not a park bench, like a picnic bench, wooden picnic bench. We had a microwave, coffee maker, and they actually did supply plasticware, bowls, things like that.
Oh.
Kind of like a DVC setup. Very basic bathroom, but nice theming. There was a surfboard on the side of the bed, which we all hit at some point. Leave it to me. And but very big dining area and plenty of choices for breakfast.
Okay.
So I think we were all pretty satisfied. Jacob and I got a breakfast burrito. He looked at it. I looked, when I brought it to him, he kind of looked at it and he's like, I don't know if this is big enough. And I'm like, I know. I was kind of hoping it was bigger, but we were fine. And we got to eat the scraps off of Jillian's plate and probably Tammy's plate too. So that satisfied us. We jumped on that and that topped us off very nicely. The pool is nice. The pool is nice. It's not, just like a regular shaped pool. It has character to it, has a lot of ins and outs. And they had a pool bar. And the one thing that was really nice, this is such a minor touch, but Kathy bumped into it twice. And so let's see. Oh, the one really nice touch with the pool is the resort springs for their own beach balls. And possibly some floaties. We weren't sure if those belonged to people or not, but at very least, and there's probably 7, 8, 9 beach balls in there, and I could just look around, and it just kept people entertained.
Yes. Yeah. We bought, when we went to Pop, we actually ordered from Amazon a bunch of beach balls. So I get what you're saying. It does, just liven up the pool a little bit, and you get different families that do not know each other, just playing, throwing the ball around. So yeah, that's good that they include that.
Yeah, it gave me a thought for Disney. You don't see that on Disney property, and that would be a nice little thing, super cheap, that they could do just to entertain people a little bit. Right. I don't mind hanging out and relaxing in the pool, but Kathy, Jillian, and me, I swear to God, we probably played 2 straight hours of just, a little bit of volleyball back and forth. Yeah. Not to mention that the wind. Oh, Kathy just said it in chat too. We had about 2 hours of pool volleyball.
Yeah.
She was sore for 2 days, she said. But yeah, so that was fun. Tammy hung in the background a little bit and just sunned herself in the pool, which was also great. So just a nice little added touch I think resorts should do. That gave us the idea. We are over at Riviera Resort on Saturday night, and we're going to get some pool time hopefully too. So hopefully, I don't think Tammy bought one of those for this weekend, but hopefully she gets one and we can play with the beach ball in the pool. But very nice property. I would say, as far as and maybe Kathy and I didn't even talk about this, but it's not like Disney property in the sense of the hallways. I don't know. There was a little bit of theming. I think there was surfboards on the wall as wallpaper or whatever. Nothing special. I could have been in a Holiday Inn or something, and felt the same way. Just not a lot of character, like if you go to Animal Kingdom Lodge or just there's so much character in all the other hotels, the resorts. This had really none of it, but which is fine. Just an observation in my review. We did have, I'll end probably with this. They didn't have a lot of merch for the resort. I like to buy something when I stay at a place. And once again, we're at 1 hour and 7 minutes, so we'll wrap this up. But I got a coaster. I mean, they had a towel, but it was like $40. I think they had 1 or 2 shirts, but really didn't catch my eye. Okay. And a couple of other things that really didn't hit home. So I'm like, I'm going to get this coaster for $5.99 or $6.99. And when I sit down now, I can just look at it, and it's just a little something that gives you some joy by looking at it while you're watching TV, and you put your drink on it, So I like it. I'm happy with it. You don't have to always spend $40 on a towel. I'm happy with that. So that's good stuff. Here is our view. How amazing is that view right there? Wow. I mean, we were on the 9th floor, and you look back, and if you go from left to right, you can see Harry Potter's castle, Hogwarts. Then as you work your way over, you can see that next piece that's sticking up over the trees is actually a Velocicoaster at its highest point.
Oh, I was up that high?
Yeah. And it's funny, you could see the coaster running while we were in our room. Wow. Which is pretty cool. As you go along to the center, those 2 stacks, that's Dr. Doom's Fearfall.
Oh, okay.
And right behind that is the Hulk. And if you go over to the back of that building there, that white building, as you work your way, you can see Rip Ride Rocket. Yeah. So you could see a lot from here. It was really nice. And here, if you look down from our view, there's the pool. So this was kind of sort of a little bit of a deep dive, but not completely. We put our toes in when we reviewed this here, I guess. But look at the pool. Pool's pretty cool. And I will say it can vary from day to day, but this was a Sunday morning, and not all of the umbrella areas were taken. So
wow, that's different.
I know. And we did this vlog, actually. We made the beds, we tidied up, we got all our bags out of the room, and we did the vlog in the morning just before checkout. But I did send Jacob down. I'm like, I'm looking at a section where nobody is. Go down now. So he went down, and he held 5 chairs for us, and we were good to go. So
now, is that a complete courtyard? It looks like it's covered on all 4 sides by the building.
Oh, what was your question?
is it and completely in a courtyard, or is the building surrounding the pool on all four sides?
That's a great question, because Jill said, that's one thing I don't like when you're completely surrounded. It is surrounded by 3 buildings that connect, and this is the other side of it. This is where we're looking out. The building would be in the way to some degree if you were looking here. So it's 3 sides. So good time. We had a great time. Time there. And it was affordable. It's your affordable option at Universal if you need to fit more than 4 people. I think we paid I'm just going to say $250-ish. Kathy would know. We went halves, so I gave her like $125 or something. So, yeah. Nice. We were happy with that. So, love to try some other properties at Universal. I'm sure we'll do that in the future. Oh, Shannon wants to know how the food was. Breakfast was, it's tough with breakfast when you're serving sausage, eggs, bacon. It was as good as that comes. The scrambled eggs didn't have any seasoning on them, but they were fine. The sausage was perfect. The bacon was not super crispy, but still very meaty and tasty, if that makes.
Okay.
And the burrito we had was scrambled eggs, and it had some beef in it and some seasonings. It was good. I think we rated it like a 4, maybe a 3.75. It was decent. And so, yeah.
No Mickey waffles.
No Mickey waffles. Yeah, Kathy said breakfast was okay, nothing special. So you won't be disappointed, but and they have a Starbucks, a huge Starbucks, which you'll see in the vlog, and a huge counter where you can just sit. It's really nice. The lobby's really nice. I did some great B-roll of it, so when we release this vlog in a little bit, everybody watch it, and we'll and let me know what you think. But I did try the new Starbucks pumpkin latte, chai tea latte. Where's Jennifer L? Do I need I say more? It was good. It was really good. And if they have that tomorrow night at Starbucks, I'm leaving with that again.
All right.
Oh, very, very good. Run to your local Starbucks and get that, everybody. The other thing that we left out was at Universal Parks that night, we tried the Minion Cafe for the first time. That, on the other hand, not so good. Sometimes I get caught up in the moment. You want to like it, and you might be a little lighter on your review sometimes, and I have a clear review sometimes the next day.
Yeah.
I hate to say I would never eat there again, because the atmosphere is cool. It's cool. They did a nice job, but it's not enough to bring us back, probably. We'll probably never eat there again. What Kathy probably had the best thing, although Jacob had the green tomato soup. It tasted like tomato soup. It was good. It was fine. With the what was it? With the grilled cheese.
Okay.
It was good. He liked it. Kathy's was good. It was a meatball calzone with some cheese in there and all that. It was good. What I got was like something you would just eat at home. You get that steakum and you throw it on a bun, and you put the plastic cheese on there and it oozes.
Yeah.
That tasted good, but not $17 good at all. At all. The desserts, very average, but I did like the Pet Rock. The Pet Rock was cute. Plenty of peanut butter mousse, which I love peanut butter taste. They could have put a little more jelly in there, which could have pushed it to probably close to a 5. So, and that banana sitting off to the side of that pineapple cake was really good. That surprised us. That was the pineapple. The pineapple in the banana. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
The pineapple taste in the banana. So
and this is where the old Monsters Cafe was?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And we took some time to look at the theming and show everybody. They did a great job with the theming. So even if you don't want to eat there based on our review, go in and poke around if they'll let you. Go look at the break room. The break room's really fun. They did a great job on all of that. And that's what we think about that. So, yeah, we had another full show. We continue to go longer and longer and longer.
As long as everybody in chat and watching and leaving comments is getting value from it, then it's worth it.
I'm sure they're not complaining of the length of it, for sure. I wanted to go back and see what Jennifer L. said. She says, I tried the pumpkin cold brew the other day. Gotta try the chai. Yeah, the chai was off the chain. So good. So good. So good. All right.
Somebody asked if the hotel was walking distance to the parks.
No. Great question. Endless Summer is not within walking distance, in my opinion. I mean, I've never walked the streets over there to get there. If I had to guess if it's walkable, maybe it takes you 15, 20 minutes to get there.
Okay.
So I guess it's what you think walking distance is. So I wouldn't have it in my mind to do it, but from the drive, it's a few minutes of a drive to get over there from property.
Yeah.
It's definitely not on the property though.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on like city streets. It's away from it. It'd be like leaving Disney and then there's hotels.
It looked that way from the picture that you posted. It looked like it was, city streets you'd have to take to walk to the parks.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. Last thing, Kathy said, Kathy was great on Saturdays. She allowed us to go on earlier, live a little bit earlier. And I always say this, the strategy and the reason is there's only so many rides. Kathy and Tammy don't go on a lot of rides. But my concern is I want to make sure that they get on all the rides they want to. Yeah. Once that happens, it's always been, we can go live with Tammy. But now that, say Kathy doesn't do Gringotts at this moment. So Tammy hadn't gone on it yet. So we wouldn't have been able to go live yet. But Kathy wasn't going on it. So she's like, give me the stream. I'll go. So I gave it to her, showed her how to do it. And she did a great job. I watched her from the queue. And I was proud of her. She did a great, great job. And we tried the butterbeer ice cream. That butterbeer ice cream is like a must get from now on. I would rather have that than the frozen butterbeer. They taste the same, so it's how do you want to consume it? Do you want to sip on it or do you want to lick it? It's good. It's very good. And they have many interesting flavors on that menu in Diagon Alley. So I definitely want to try some others. Jacob tried the chocolate and chili. You get the chocolate flavor of, that's a hard packed ice cream. You get the chocolate flavor of it, and then you get the chili. Like it kicks in. It's like when the chocolate ice cream dissolves, you get that kick, and it had a little bit of a kick to it. Yeah, it had some kick. So that was good. And he tried another scoop of something, and I can't remember what it was. I don't know if chat can remember what it was, but he definitely, there was another one. I'll have to ask him, but he tried another one, and that was good too. But there are many other flavors to try. Problem is, you can't combine the butterbeer with any of the hard packed, because who's ever done soft serve with hard packed together?
Right.
I do have to say though, with Kathy's, they really stacked my soft serve butterbeer. But Kathy comes by. I had time. For some reason, it was taking time for them to get Kathy's to begin with. I had already licked mine down to like that much above the cone. For anybody that's not watching but listening, my butterbeer ice cream at that point was probably 2 inches off the cone. Kathy comes over with right after they handed hers. Kathy's is 2 inches off the cone. I go, what is this? What did they just give you? And she's like, I don't know. This is what they gave me. I'm like, no, I had like 5 times higher than that. So I went over with her and I'm like, can you give her another one? I mean, I don't know what happened here, but then she gave Kathy another one. It was the same size. They said they were having trouble with the machine at that point or something like that. So I'm thinking, well, at that case, then you should probably just give them away for free or discount them.
Yep.
But they were still giving them away at the hefty price of like $6.99, something like that. Oh, yes. Kathy said it was apple. Jacob had apple crumble. It tasted just like apple pie with ice cream.
Nice.
So, all good stuff. So, see, I thought I didn't have much to talk about with Inside the Parks, and there you go. Glad to share. Tomorrow, if anybody's listening on the replay, this doesn't mean anything, but tomorrow we are live at Hollywood Studios. I expect it to be a beautiful night, and we'll do Phantasmic and get on as many rides as we can. And I don't suspect there'll be any new desserts, but we'll look. If there isn't and Neil joins me, will I bite into a Wookiee cookie?
Ooh. Whoa.
I don't know. I don't know. That would
Neil,
get Neil to the park.
Yeah, I was going to say, Neil, it sounds like you need to be at the parks.
Neil will be there right now. He'll be waiting there for rope drop, just knowing I'm going to be there at night to try a Wookiee cookie. So, yes, Thursdays. It'll be Thursdays this week. So we'll see you all there. Thank you so much for being with us, everyone. Yeah. You guys are amazing. We love you so much, and thanks for being here. Neil's going to bring his Yankee water. What a nightmare. Wookiee cookie and wash that down with Yankee water. Man. All right. So anyway, wait, what did I say? I said Hollywood Studios, right? No. Yeah, I guess I am at Hollywood. Why am I doing that? Why? Do we want to be at Hollywood, or do we want to be at MK?
I thought you had said Magic earlier.
Yeah. So why do I confuse myself with parks?
There's 4 of them. It's tough. It's tough.
I know. I'm going to Magic, everybody. There's no Halloween party, right? So if there's no Halloween party, we're going to Magic.
All right. There we go.
Look for my posting.
Change it on the fly.
Yeah, I'm going to post it right now. We're going to Magic Kingdom tomorrow, everybody. No Wookiee cookie tomorrow, but maybe the next time. All right. We love you all. We'll see you live from the park. Yeah, the email said. The emails this week got all messed up because of the weather. Oh. Yeah, just disregard that. And I'll send one out. I'll say this, the channel goes through cycles where I get too involved with the channel on my own time, and it consumes me because I want to do such a great job, and being someone who works more than full-time with his other things, and then you add the channel in, it really consumes. And Tammy is so good. My wife is so good. I was talking to her the other day, and I was like, am I spending too much time? Because I check in with her now and then, and she's like, well, I know you got to do what you got to do. I guess, no, that's not the right answer. So I took it upon myself to say, let's restructure, let's see what we can do. So I think we're going to confine the emails. I think I'll send out one email for the week. We'll try that. We'll try that. And we'll keep trying to fine tune and tweak a little bit so that I have a little more free time here, and we can still put in 100% effort to the channel. Corey, you do an awesome job with it all. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I appreciate you and the mods and the Diz fam. We love you all, and we'll see you from Universal Studios tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. We'll see you from Magic Kingdom tomorrow. We'll see you in the parks. We are the Park Bros.
That's us.
2 of the Park Bros, anyway. We have some Park Bros in the chat as well, and beyond. So we'll see you tomorrow night. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and hit the like button and subscribe.